Dear student, today we are going to see poem 10th standard, Unit 5, The Secret of the Machines. The poet name is Rudyard Kipling. We are going to see first the glossary. Comprehend, understand, grasp. Furnace, an enclosed structure in which material is heated to very high temperatures. Gauge, an instrument that measures and gives a visual display of the amount, level or content of something. Haul, pull or drag with effort or force. Pit, hole. Thousandth, a fraction of thousand, that is a derived unit of length in a system of units using inches equal to 1/1000 inch. Vanish, disappear, suddenly and completely. Rot, beaten out of shape by hammering. These all are meanings which these words are there in the poem lines, which we want to understand in previous. Now we are going to say about the poet Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling, his period was 1865 to 1936. Was born on 30th December 1865 in Bombay, but educated in England at the United Services College, Westward Ho, England. And this place he studied. He was born on 30th December, Mumbai, but he got all his education in London, that is England. In 1882, he returned to India, where he worked for a newspaper, The Pioneer in Allahabad. Then in the year 1882, he came to India, and there was a newspaper, The Pioneer, in Allahabad, it's in Uttar Pradesh. He worked in that. His literary career began with the departmental ditties, 1886, but subsequently he became chiefly known as a writer of short stories. And departmental ditties, this was his first literary career, and after that he became a short story writer. His works of fiction include The Jungle Book, 1894, Kim, 1901, and many short stories including The Man Who Would Be King, 1888. These all are his stories written by him in the following that years. His poems include The White Man's Burden, 1899, and If, 1910. His famous poem is he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature at the age of 41. When he was 41, he was awarded Nobel Prize. Kipling died on 18th January 1936. This is all about him. Now we are going to see the poems by stanza wise. Our title is The Secret of the Machines. Title explanation. The machine's secret is there, and what the poet going to reveal the secret of the machine will be seen in this. It is memory poem. All the lines should be memorized. So concentrate more, word after word and line after line, stanza after stanza. There are 5 stanzas in it, totally 20 lines. In examination, they may ask you 4 line or 5 line. Either a stanza or a line from other stanza, like at any part, either the first or middle or last or any place. The first stanza, we were taken from the orbit under the mine. We were melted in the furnace under the pit. We were cast and wrought and hammered to design. We were cut and filed and tooled and caused to pit. You see the poet say, we were taken from the orbit. We refers here ores taken from the orbit, the minerals. And the mine, where the ores are dug out and taken from that place is called a mine. And after that, they were melted in furnace. In furnace, a big cylinder type of instrument. In that, after making powder, they pour everything in it. It may be sometimes a big pit. The poet compares the furnace to the big pit. The temperature of the furnace may be sometimes more than 2000 degrees Celsius. We were cast and wrought and hammered to design. After taking the iron or the copper or any other metals from furnace, they should be formed to its change. That is, the liquid form to solid form. Then worked into shape. That is, wrought means worked into shape. Hammered, beaten to shape. What the design they wanted to design. If they want a rod, they want to make it rod. If they want a tin, they want to make tin. These are work after heating it. We were cut and filed and tooled and caused to fit. How the machines were made. After making the required shape, they fit into a machine. That's why we were cut. The ores after becoming a liquid and become solid, then it is beaten into the required shape. After that, it was cut and filed and tooled. Tooled means impress a design. Caused means the required measurement. The accurately after measuring, they will cut and make into a machine. In the first stanza, the poet informs about how the machines are produced and what kind of treatment they need. The machines tell us that they were taken from the ore bed and mined in the furnace, they were cast in the pit, they were beaten out of shape by hammering, they were cut and filed, then they were tooled and caused to fit. Now the machine is ready. Second stanza. Some water, coal and oil is all we ask, and a thousandth of an inch to give us play. And now, if you will set us to our task, we will serve you 4 and 20 hours a day. In the second stanza, after making that ore into machine, what are the necessary items it wanted? Some water wanted, coal, you know that, to heat it. For thermal power stations, we use it. And oil. And then oil may be oil, diesel, petrol and any kind of in it we use. Then this is the needed for all the machines. And a thousandth of an inch to give us play. Now here, and a thousandth of inch already given meaning. A derived unit of length in the system of units using inches equal to 1 by 1000 inch. That's after making in the perfect. And now, if you will set us to our task, you make us to ready to do our work, we will serve you 4 and 20 hours a day. 4 hours, 20 hours is the pattern of the poem writing. It is 24 hours. All time we are ready to work. After making into machine, the machine needs some food. The food may be water, coal and oil. Then we must give some time. In the fractions of time, we must set time to work it, then it will begin to work all the 24 hours. In this stanza, the machines ask only for some water, coal and oil. It takes only a fractions of thousands to make them work. If we set them in task, they will serve us 24 hours a day. They are ready now, the third stanza. We can pull and haul and push and lift and drive. We can print and plow and weave and heat and light. We can run and race and swim and fly and dive. We can see and hear and count and read and write. Now the works it is saying, what are the work it can do? We can pull and haul and push and lift and drive. We know the pull meaning. The haul means dragging, either back or front, and push, you know that. And lift, taking, and drive, and it can drive. These all are the work. We can print either letters or any picture and plow. It can plow the land. And weave. It can weave the cloth and heat and light. It give heat and also it give light. We can run and race. They can run and also they can run very speed, race and swim, ready to do the work even the deepest part of the oceans and fly. It's an example, the same ship and fly, aeroplane, a rocket, etc. And it can dive too. We can see, they can watch the things and also hear, it can hear the command and count. It can do the work of calculation and read and write. These all are the work the machine can nowadays doing instead of human being. Once human being took maximum time, now it finishes every work within the shortest span. In this stanza, the poet says that the machines can do all sorts of work. They can pull, drag, push, lift, and drive. They can also print, plow, weave, heat, and light. Further, they can run, race, swim, fly, and dive. They can also see, hear, count, read, and write. All these tasks were done earlier by the human being. Now these machines have made their work easier. After the machine entering, it becomes easy for the human. Now the fourth stanza. But remember please, the law by which we live. We are not built to comprehend a lie. We can neither love, nor pity, nor forgive. If you make a slip in handling us, you die. In this stanza, the machine says, remember please, the law by which we live. The machines, we fixed some rules to it, and according to that it will work after we switch on. We are not built to comprehend a lie. It cannot say any lie at all. We can neither love, nor pity, nor forgive. They don't know how to show its kindness, mercy and all, and also it cannot forgive. If we go near when a running machine is going on, if you make a slip in handling us, you die. And we will die if we go very near when it is running for the dangerous places. Here the poet says, we have to remember, you all the human beings have to remember the law by which the machine live. The machines are not built to grasp a lie. It cannot work and it cannot do any lie. They have no emotions or feelings. They don't pity anyone or forgive them. If you make a slight mistake in handling them, you could even die. There is possibility to make great accident and die in it. Carefully we must handle the machine, otherwise it will kill us. The last stanza. Though our smoke may hide the heavens from your eyes, it will vanish and the stars will shine again. Because for all our power and weight and size, we are nothing more than children of your brain. You see here, big manufacturing industries and factories let out smokes, and sometimes the smoke may hide the heavens, the great Almighty. The path to reach the God, that place also can be hid by the smoke let out by machines, but it will vanish, it will disappear, and the stars will shine again. Again you can see the sky, stars. Stars means if it is a daytime sun, if it is night time, so we can see several thousands of stars. Because for all our power and weight and size, however we are having a lot of power and our weight is more than you and all, and we are bigger in the size, we are nothing more than children of your brain. We are your brain child. By using your brain, you manufactured us, you produced us. Machine accepts here the human is the greatest of all. It is the brain children of the human. Machines aren't perfect after all, and the nature always wins over. That is the first line. Machines aren't miraculous creations. They are nothing more than the creations of the human brain. The poet concludes in his last stanza, we are the bigger than the human being. Whatever the machines we made, either the ship or the aeroplane or any shots of missiles or rockets or spaceships or the missions and all the brain children of the human being. It goes from starting needle to the biggest aeroplane and the longest train, etc. So the poet concludes how great the human is. The human brain, which is not even more than 1.5 kg, has the power of producing this many great inventions, and by seeing those inventions, he gives his surprises. Students, now we will see entire summary. The poem, The Secret of Machines, deals with the problem of modern technology and automation. In the beginning, the poet informs about how the machines are produced and what kind of treatment they need. Afterwards, in the second and third stanza, the machines explain how they can serve humanity. All the work what was done by the humans earlier is taken up by the machines at present. They pull, haul, push, lift, drive, print, plow, weave, heat, light, run, race, swim, fly, and dive. They can also see, hear, count, read, and write like human beings. Even though machines are useful, they can also lead to big disasters. If they aren't used in the right way, they have no emotions or feelings for anyone. They can also lead to big disaster if they aren't used in the right way. They have no emotions or feelings for anyone. In the last stanza, the dream of the perfect machinery suddenly seems to fade away. Machines aren't miraculous creations. They are nothing more than the creations of the human brain. Now we will see some appreciation questions and short questions and all. In your text, there are short question type. First we will see that. Who does we refer to in the first stanza? Human beings, A, and B, machines. In the first stanza, it refers machines. Who are the speakers and the listeners of this poem? The speakers are the machines and the listeners are the readers. What metals are obtained from ores and mines? Iron, copper, zinc, lead, tin, aluminium, gold, and chromium are some of the metals that we obtain from ores and mines. Mention a few machines which are armored to design: the lever, the inclined plane, the wedge, the screw, the wheel, the axle, and pulley. Mention the names of a few machines that run on water, coal, or oil: steam engine, generator, washing machine, and turbine of power plants. Mention a few machines used for pulling, pushing, lifting, driving, printing, plowing, reading, writing, etc. Crane, printer, car, cycle, computer, telephone, etc. Are machines humble to accept the evolution of human brain? Why? Yes, machines are humble to accept the evolution of the human brain. They know that they are nothing more than the creations of the human brain. What feelings are evoked in us by the machines in this poem? Emotions like love, pity, and forgiveness are evoked in us by the machines. And a thousandth of an inch to give us play. Which of the following do the machines want to prove from this line? Once machines are fed with fuel, they take a very long time to start. Once machines are fed with fuel, they start quickly. The answer in this is, once machines are fed with fuel, they start quickly. Now, if you will set us to our task, we will serve you 4 and 20 hours a day. Who does the pronoun you refer to? You refers to the people. Whose task is referred to as our task here? Our task here refers to the work of the machines. Upon open conditional clause is used in the given line. Why is the future tense will set and will serve used both in the if clause and in the main clause? The future tense is used both in the if clause and in the main clause because people don't make use of the machines in the proper way and they maintain them correctly. So the poet stresses that if they are set to their task properly, they will work continuously. Do the machine serve us 24 hours a day? Yes, they serve us 24 hours a day. Rewrite the given lines with ending 365 days a year. And now if you will set us to our task, we will serve you 365 days a year. And these all are the questions.